December 14, 1961. A young woman writes 7 words in her diary, then she closes it, hides it beneath the floorboards of her bedroom, and is never seen again for 58 years. That diary waited in the dark when they finally found it. They understood why she hid it. I pulled this case file 3 weeks ago. It sat on my desk longer than most, not because the details were complicated, but because the simplest explanation should have been obvious from the start. Case number 61 to 4472, filed December 19, 1961. Macoupin County Sheriff's Office, Illinois. Missing person, Mary Horton Vail, white female, 19 years old, 5'4", brown hair, green eyes. Last seen at the Vail family farmhouse, rural Route 4, approximately 8 miles outside Carlinville. Mary was 5 days from her wedding when she vanished. Her fiancé, Leonard Burkhart, age 24, reported her missing after she failed to appear for their final dress fitting. He told deputies she'd been nervous about the marriage, said she probably got cold feet, packed a bag and left. The sheriff at the time, a man named Harold Sims, took Leonard at his word. Mary's parents were both deceased. She had no siblings. No one pushed back. The case was marked inactive by February 1962. For 57 years, Mary Horton Vail was just another runaway bride. Then someone decided to tear up the floors. The Vail farmhouse sat empty for decades after Leonard Burkhart died in 1994. No children, no heirs. The property eventually transferred to the county in March 2019. A local development company purchased the land. They sent a renovation crew to assess the structure. The house was in rough shape, water damage, collapsed ceilings, rodent infestation. The crew started in the master bedroom on the second day. A contractor named Miguel Reyes noticed something wrong with the floor. The boards near the west wall didn't match the rest of the room. Different wood grain, different nails, like someone had pulled up a section and replaced it. Decades ago, Reyes pried up the boards beneath them. He found a cavity not part of the original construction. Someone had carved out a hiding space, roughly 2 feet by 3 feet, about 8 inches deep. Inside that space were 3 items: a small leather-bound diary, a gold engagement ring with a diamond chip, and a woman's nightgown, white cotton, yellowed with age, with a dark brown stain covering most of the chest and abdomen. The stain tested positive for human blood type O-negative. Mary Horton Vail's blood type, listed in her 1961 missing persons report, was O-negative. I read the forensic report 4 times. Each time, I found something else that didn't fit. The diary contained entries spanning June through December 1961. Most were mundane: wedding preparations, fabric swatches, guest lists. But starting in late November, the tone changes. November 23, L was angry again tonight. I don't know what I said wrong. November 29, he grabbed my wrist so hard it bruised. He said he was sorry. He always says he's sorry. December 7, I found the photographs. I can't unsee them. I can't marry him knowing what he is. She doesn't explain what the photographs showed, but the entry is underlined 3 times. December 12, I told Pastor Nichols. He said I need to pray about it. He said Leonard is a good man from a good family. December 14, the final entry, he knows I have to tell someone before Saturday. Saturday, December 16, was her wedding day, but there was one problem. The diary was found hidden beneath the floorboards of Mary's bedroom. The engagement ring was with it. The nightgown was with it. If Mary had run away, she would have taken the diary. She would have taken the ring to pawn. She would not have hidden blood-stained clothing beneath her own floor. These items weren't hidden by someone fleeing. They were hidden by someone who never left that house. And this is where the case stops making sense entirely. In 2019, investigators tracked down every surviving person who knew Mary Vail. Most were in their 80s. Most remembered very little, but 3 statements stood out. Dorothy Fenn, age 84, had been Mary's closest friend. In 1961 she told investigators that Mary called her on the evening of December 14, the same night as the final diary entry. She was crying, Dorothy said. She said she needed to show me something. She said it would change everything. She asked if I could come to the farm the next morning. Dorothy agreed, but when she arrived on December 15th, Leonard Burkhart met her at the door. He told her Mary had left during the night, packed a suitcase and caught a bus to St. Louis. He said she'd left a note, but he burned it because it was too painful to keep. Dorothy never saw Mary again. The second statement came from a man named Eugene Watts, now deceased. In 1987, he gave an interview to a local historical society about growing up in Macoupin County. The interviewer asked about local legends. Eugene mentioned the Vail girl. Everyone knew she didn't run off. He said, Leonard's father was the county judge. Nobody was going to call his son a liar. The third statement came from the renovation contractor, Miguel Reyes. When he pulled up those floorboards, he noticed tool marks on the joists, recent tool marks. Within the last 20 or 30 years someone had opened that hiding space before, someone had looked at what was inside, and someone had put those floorboards back and said nothing. I tried to reconstruct Mary's final hours. This is what the evidence suggests. On the evening of December 14, 1961, Mary Vail made a phone call to Dorothy. Then she was upset. She referenced something she needed to show Dorothy, something that would change everything. At some point that night, Mary wrote her final diary entry. She knew Leonard was aware. She had discovered something she planned to tell someone before the wedding. The next morning, December 15, Leonard told Dorothy that Mary had left during the night. He claimed she caught a bus to St. Louis, but here's the problem. The last bus from Carlinville to St. Louis on December 14 departed at 6:47 p.m. Mary's phone call to Dorothy was placed at 8:15 p.m. She was still at the farmhouse after the last bus had already left. The first bus on December 15 departed at 7:30 a.m. Dorothy arrived at the farmhouse at approximately 8 a.m. Leonard claimed Mary had already left. That gives Mary a window of 30 minutes to pack a suitcase, walk 8 miles to the bus station, and board a bus, in the dark. In December, in rural Illinois, the temperature that morning was 14 degrees Fahrenheit. I checked the bus company records, still archived at the Macoupin County Historical Society. No ticket was sold to any M. Vail, Mary Vail, or Mary Horton on December 14 or 15. 1961. No one named Mary boarded that bus because Mary never left. The leading theory, the only theory that fits the evidence, is that Mary Horton Vail was killed in her own home on the night of December 14, 1961. The killer was almost certainly Leonard Burkhart. Mary's diary suggests she had discovered something about Leonard, photographs that horrified her, something she believed disqualified him from marriage. She told a pastor, who dismissed her. She planned to tell her friend Dorothy. Leonard found out the bloodstained nightgown indicates a violent attack, likely in Mary's bedroom. The killer, presumably Leonard, hid the diary, ring, and nightgown beneath the floorboards. He then reported Mary as a runaway, knowing his father's position as county judge would discourage investigation, and it worked for 58 years. It worked, but this theory has holes. First, where is Mary's body? The farmhouse property has been searched twice since 2019. Ground-penetrating radar found nothing. Cadaver dogs found nothing. 8 acres of land, and not a single trace of human remains. Second, what were the photographs? Mary's diary doesn't describe them. They were never found in the farmhouse. Whatever she saw died with her. Third, who opened that hiding space decades later? The tool marks suggest someone accessed the compartment well after 1961, possibly in the 1970s or 1980s. Leonard Burkhart lived alone in that house until his death in 1994. Did he revisit his crime? Did someone else find the evidence and stay silent? We don't know. We may never know. I've read a lot of case files, seen a lot of evidence that didn't add up, but this one stays with me. Mary Horton Vail was 19 years old. She was 5 days from a wedding. She was trying to escape. She found something that terrified her. She tried to tell someone, and for 58 years, she lay hidden, not her body, but her voice, her diary, her own words sealed beneath the floor of the room where she likely died. She wrote, "He knows I have to tell someone before Saturday." She never got the chance. Leonard Burkhart is dead. The county judge who protected him is dead. Everyone who could have spoken up is either dead or claims they don't remember. Mary's remains have never been found. No one has ever been charged. Case status: unsolved. This case file is still open. The next one I'm reviewing, you'll want to be there when I open that file.